Guys, welcome back to Across Minnesota Panfish. This is a three-part series. This is going to be the last part of this series. We are up in nowhere land, actually, and we're going to chase crappies and bluegills. This is all what this series is about. We're going to get out here. We got a bunch of the guys. I got my little nephew and his buddies out here with us. We're just going to attack this lake and break it down and see what we can do. We've been here before, caught big crappies and nice gills. Hopefully that's what we're after today. Hopefully that's what comes topside. Who knows? This has kind of been fun for us. We've traveled all over Minnesota, got 3 different bites in 3 different areas, and that's what we set out to do. So far we've got 2 of them. This is the 3rd one. Hopefully we can get it done.
Addiction, the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. An addiction is not desirable. It is something that overtakes your life. What happens when an addiction cannot be stopped? An addiction is stronger than any one drug with only one cure. The cure is not rehab. It is not medication. It is not a counselor. The only cure for us is the water beneath our feet, the rod in our hands, the anticipation of that next big bite, and the camaraderie we all share. This is Fish Addictions TV.
Fish Addictions TV is brought to you by Eskimo Ice Fishing Gear and the rest of our fine sponsors.
It's early, sun's just coming up, crew's getting packed, everybody's getting warm. Crappie time.
So here's with Will's hook coming down. You can tell this guy got a little bigger, a little excited. We got one over here, and he's gonna stop right above him. And we can see, so this Panoptics, you see to the left and the right of the way the deucer is showing, so we can see a much wider swath than your traditional cone in the down scan mode of it, or the down view mode. So here he is, we got one excited coming up right up to Will's bait there, and shortly he should be putting a bend in that rod. Nice gill, man.
Yeah, look at that.
Those are solid gills. Nice crappie, man.
Guys, one of the reasons we wanted to do this across Minnesota is because there's so many opportunities in Minnesota. I grew up fishing the Detroit Lakes area, the Bemidji area, just those areas, but there's so much more out there in Minnesota. And that's a beautiful crappie no matter where you're at, and there is a bunch of them down there. Josh and Will have been on the Panoptics kind of searching around, and the whole group is on top of them, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Ah, greaser, man. You see one start screaming up off the bottom, you know they're gonna eat. Panfish, they like to put the brakes on.
Punch one right here and we'll see which way the school is. All right, so right now we're just kind of panning this way and it comes up a little shallower. We're just moving it just to see where we can find the school of fish. And it actually looks like there's some targets actually right underneath the deucer right now, as you can see them moving. So if you want to grab your rod,
yeah, for sure.
Grab your flasher, start fishing.
Finally! Been working that fish forever. Got him like 6 feet off the bottom. Finally, really nice one here. Had 4 or 5 fish below me, but had to work this one up out of the pack. Had him actually about 6 feet off the bottom before he finally bit. So don't be discouraged to try and raise those fish up. It triggers them sometimes to bite, and you can pick off a few more fish by being a little more aggressive with them.
Gilly gilly. Good eater. I think we're gonna catch a lot of these today. It's 5 minutes into the day and we got a graph full of them. They're all over the screen. Let's go catch another one.
That's a nice gill. Yeah, we've been out here, we're on a giant school of fish here. Crappies and gills mixed in, and we're kind of weeding through some of the smaller ones and getting on these big ones. There's some nice fish down here, so I'm gonna actually save this guy. We're gonna pan that one up there. I'm gonna get back down, see if I can't get after another one here.
The all-new Eskimo pistol bit is the ultimate weapon to pair with your 1/2 inch high-torque cordless drill if you want to be mobile and destroy the ice in a hurry. At just under 4 pounds, nothing will slow you down, as this unit was engineered to cut fast, cut smooth, and maximize the battery life of your cordless drill. Best of all, it's lightweight, so it won't wear you out. If you've been considering a cordless drill auger bit, we challenge you to try the pistol and find something you don't like about it.
Catch Cover makes a full line of hard-nosed products for your fish house. Exceptionally durable. Original catch covers keep out snow, dirt, and road salt. Accessories like rod holders, rattle reels, slush buckets, new Moonglow hole sleeves, and much more. All made in Minnesota and backed by a no-question guarantee. Look for Catch Cover at fine retailers or see the entire product line at catchcover.com.
Manitoba, Canada's heart, beats.
I just switched lures. Today is not the Fire Tiger bite. I just got a little white plastic on here, but a little bit more tight-lipped. You really got to coax them into biting. I'm not jigging as aggressively, and just kind of slowly climbing the ladder, and once they start chasing, they usually commit.
There you go. Anytime you have 4, 5, 6 fish racing up and down at it, doesn't matter how big they are, your heart's always, that's what I love about fishing. If you can't get excited about staring at your graph and watching those fish come up and down and up and down, and it basically at that point it's you against them. And once you strike gold, every single time I catch a fish, I giggle inside. It's an unbelievable experience. It's one of those things that if you haven't experienced, you should. And if you have experienced, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Finally got one of these guys to go. They've been pretty finicky today, so I've downsized a little bit and gone to wax worms instead of just a plastic. Lots of fish down there, lots of marks. Finally, I got one of them to come up here and grab it. Most of them were pretty small. This guy is obviously a nice sized bluegill here. But the waxworm seems to be key in the fact that they're, they come up and nip at the plastic. If you get a little bit of meat on there, then they tend to bite. This might be a crappie.
So check this out. This is something I do with crappies, and about 50% of the time it works. I've worked this fish up about 4 feet and he's stalled on me. I'm maybe 4 inches above him, just continuing working my plastic, and there's zero interest. So what I'll do is I'll dump my rod tip and just bomb that past him. Now crappies with their peripheral vision, they're looking up, and then I'll work it up past him. So if you think about it, he's looking this way, and all of a sudden this bait comes out of nowhere in his peripheral vision, and it'll get him excited. And here he comes. There he is. It's just one of those things to try out, when you're out fishing crappies, and this actually is not a horrible fish. Just your classic Minnesota crappie. It'd be, I don't know, a little on the small side for eater class, but decent fish, man. Love the colors on these crappies.
Woo-hoo! Finally got one to go.
When we first started dropping down after these crappies, they were pretty aggressive, so it didn't seem to matter what you were using. But after we caught some of those aggressive fish, it seemed like you really had to either downsize, maybe switch over to a waxy. One of the things that I did is I had a really small plastic on with a waxy. It allowed me to have a little confidence if I missed a fish, knowing that if they may have stole my live bait, I was able to have a little bit of plastic on there as a backup.
We go. Another one, not quite as big, but again, the waxworm or the meat has seemed to be key today on this light bite.
One of the most important things when talking about fishing panfish is staying on them and moving, and when they slow down, they're somewhere. So we're moving. It's important to keep moving. You'll find them.
Before the spot, before the hole, before the bait.
it starts with a passion. And that passion starts at Runnings. The best gear and supplies from the most trusted brands. When you get the strike, will you be ready? Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store.
Cole's Resort of Bemidji, Minnesota.
We gotta go. When they say we gotta go, we gotta go.
Canola bar.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta stick mine out a little further. You know, Josh and I, when we started Fish Addictions and actually doing the filming thing years ago, we traveled everywhere.
Everywhere.
Did all this stuff ourselves, and it's pretty cool to see where this
Absolutely, man. It's awesome to watch what this has grown into, and yeah, it's amazing. I mean, living a dream.
Yeah, that's, some may call it that.
Right.
Others may call it just having fun every day, right?
Absolutely. No, it's great. The amount of people we got going on and everything, and it's just a good time to get out here on the ice with everybody.
It's just good to have everybody together, but it's so cool when you come back, because we start reminiscing about the days when we were like running around with cameras filming you.
A lot
you
of
were filming
windshield
me.
time, and yeah, sliding in, get the shot, and yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Really what it is, guys, I just want to thank you guys for following us. This is season 4, actually 5, because our
of the
first
season,
season,
all YouTube stuff.
Go back and watch that stuff. It's pretty fun.
There's short videos. There's some good stuff on there, man. We had a good time doing it too.
We filmed and edited ourselves. We spent hours in an ice house editing.
In your ice house, in your driveway. Yeah.
Little office. Good to have you up here, dude.
This one's a little bit smaller. Yeah. Hit it like a freight train, but it's small.
We're out here fishing with Fish Addictions today, and we're chasing some crappies. So far, it's been pretty fun.
We'd like to thank Fish Addictions for taking us on this awesome fishing experience.
Thank you.
Well, these smaller fish, they're fun to catch, but they're not what we're after, so we want to make sure that they go down so that eventually one day they'll be what we're after.
Give him a little bit of snack right there for coming to play.
Finally, man. These crappies have really slowed down on us today. This morning we were fishing them in kind of a basin area. I'm gonna get this guy back here real quick. You wanna? But what we've done is we've kind of come up on that bowl. So the basin area, there's a little dish pan bowl, and they're suspended in there, and we found them using the Panoptics earlier and then just capitalized on it as the sun was coming up. But since the sun's gotten higher now and the clouds have kind of moved away, the sun's got brighter, those crappies have receded out of that bowl and they're up on the rim. And we're having to really slow down our jig stroke and downsize a little bit. I've been rolling through a bunch of different color combinations of jig heads and plastics, and finally finding something that's working a little bit better, and that's this guy right here. Just kind of a pearl white and a white jig head. Call it that Wonder Bread color, just with the multicolored dots. I've been doing really well, but it's definitely slowing down that jigging cadence midday. Will put more fish on the ice for you.
Hey guys, Mike here with Fish Addictions, and I want to touch on something real quick. I think you're going to want to get down to your nearest running store because they have the original Ion on sale for $399. Now this is why I like this product. First off, you're going to get 1,000 inches of cutting with an 8-inch bit through one battery. Guys, if you've never had a chance to utilize an electric auger, this is the one for you. Get out, get this auger. There's so many uses. The guys that are in wheelhouses, you're gonna love them. The RPMs are perfect, so you're not throwing slush everywhere. You have an 8-inch, a 10-inch option. You get the extension with it. You get a battery and a charger. It's got everything you need. So run into the store, grab it, get out on the ice, and start fishing.
Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store with over 40 locations.
Fishing. Make your own luck.
Good job, buddy.
Not bad. Yeah.
Nice.
That's what we were looking for, man.
You know, guys, we didn't give you a destination on this episode. This is one of those tactics that can be used across the state. What we're doing is targeting these basin crappies. You know, when I talk to basin, you're talking about the deepest part of the lake or the biggest bowl. And what we're doing is we're out here roaming around, using our units and looking for the suspended fish. And the bigger ones are definitely up higher. So we're out here, we're chasing these things, having a blast. It's not about catching giants. We got a whole group of us out here. It's about having a good time, putting meat on the ice. So if you guys use this tactic, you know, just search out in the basin. You too can have success on the ice.
Decent fish. Man, it's so cool when everyone is hooked up like that. You know you're on a good pot of fish.
That's a nice gill. So one of the things that you want to be cognizant of when you're fishing in big groups like this is what we're fishing is a lot of finicky panfish, crappies, and these mixed in gills. If you guys have a little bit more finicky fish and there's a lot of commotion around, one thing that you might want to try is if you have a group going out and scouting and finding a good fish for you, when you guys come in with the rest of the sleds and the rest of the guys, maybe park back a little bit of the ways and stay away from driving the sleds and making all that noise on the ice, and walk your gear in. And that way you can continue to stay on top of these fish, because what we've been finding is that they're just gone. They will ghost on us. So we've been putting that in play, and everybody's been able to come around and get on the same fish that some of us have been finding as we scout these lakes. So just want to keep that in mind. A lot of noise. These fish, they might be 30 feet deep, but they can hear it, and they're showing us that they can hear it.
Hey. Crappies everywhere. You know, guys, over the last 3 weeks, we've had every single staff member on the ice, and I want to thank those guys for putting in the time, the effort, traveling with us, going to all these destinations, because I think this is something really cool where we've shown you that whether you're in Bemidji, whether you're in Detroit Lakes, whether you're in Brainerd, whether you're in the Iron Range, whether you're in a pothole lake in southern Minnesota, you can catch panfish. And that's what we set out to do. Hope you guys enjoyed it, because we've had a blast bringing it to you guys. Now remember, check us out every single week on all our social media networks, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're always doing something. We're always going somewhere, and we're always gonna bring you the latest and greatest that we can for you guys to enjoy week in and week out. We'll see you there. It's gonna be a 10-inch crappie, 9.5.
Bluegill.
And I was completely and utterly wrong. That rod lied to me, first off. So I want to redo. It's gonna be a 5-inch bluegill. Let's go.
Coming up.
Here he comes. Josh Clausen is intriguing the fish.
Not a very large mark though. That other one was a nice mark.
And he's still trying to be serious.
Come on now.
No. 12-inch perch.